Okay, I'm in the cemetery next to the church and I'm looking for Eleanor Rigby's grave and I can't find it anywhere. What's up everyone, my name is Augustine, I'm a musician and a massive fan of the Beatles, and in today's video I'm going to show you the place where John Lennon and Paul McCartney met. This is St. Peter's Church in Liverpool, England. Right there we can see the church, right across the road we can see the church hall where Paul McCartney and John Lennon actually met, and right behind me we can see the graveyard where I'm going to show you the grave of Eleanor Rigby. I had the chance to step into the church hall, which, as far as I know, is usually not open to the public, but now it's open because it's Beatles week and there was a little exhibition. So yes, I had the chance to see inside, where Paul McCartney met John Lennon. John Lennon at that time, he was playing with his band, the Quarrymen. And I also had the chance to meet Colin Hanton, the drummer of the Quarrymen. He's a very nice guy. We took a picture together and I asked him what was it like to play with John Lennon. And he said, well, I'm pretty sure he enjoyed himself a lot playing with me. He told me he's still playing drums, and actually the Quarrymen are still playing. They play mainly scaffold, which is the music they used to play, before rock and roll. So they still play the same music, and sometimes they play some Beatles songs. For example, he told me they play One After 909 and Strawberry Fields as well. This hall that I'm showing you right now is the place where John Lennon was playing with the Quarrymen when they met Paul McCartney. It's crazy to think that if it wasn't for that meeting, the world would be such a different place right now. On the 6th of July 1957, 16-year-old John Lennon met 15-year-old Paul McCartney. It was at St. Peter's Church in Walton, Liverpool. John Lennon was playing with the Quarrymen, his band, at the church fete garden party. It was a Saturday afternoon and Paul had gone along to the fete with his friend Ivan Vaughan to watch John's scaffold group, the Quarrymen. The group took its name from Quarrybank High School, which all members attended. The Quarrymen played on a makeshift stage in a field behind the church. John Lennon played the guitar and sang, while Eric Griffiths also played the guitar, Colin Hanton the drums, Rod Davids a banjo, Pete Shotton was on the washboard, and Lynn Gary played the tea-chest bass. Things had got underway in the early afternoon with a short parade through this upmarket area of Liverpool, with a lorry bringing the Rose Queen and another lorry with the Quarrymen. The biggest challenge for John and his mates in the band was to stay upright in the back of the moving vehicle while continuing to play. Once in the field behind the church, things got a bit easier. In the evening, the Quarrymen play at the Grand Dance in the church hall opposite the church, sharing the bill with the George Edwards Band. Ivan Vaughan had, on occasions, played tea-chest bass with the Quarrymen, and it was he who introduced Paul to John. McCartney, wearing a white jacket and black trousers, talked to John for a little while and showed him a technique for tuning. Paul played some songs including a medley of Little Richard's tunes, along with 20 Flight Rock and Bebop-A-Lula. Afterward, John and Pete Shotton talked over whether or not to ask Paul to join the Quarrymen. They decided it would be a good idea, and a couple of weeks later, Shotton saw Paul riding his bike in Walton and asked him to join the group. After a little thought, Paul agreed to become a member, and the rest, as they all say, it's history.
Paul met me the first day I did Bebop-A-Lula live on stage, and a mutual friend brought him to see my group called the Quarrymen.
I had a mate at school who was called Ivan, and we were born on exactly the same day in Liverpool, so we were great mates. And one day he said, do you want to come to the Wilton Village Fete? So I said, yeah, all right. So we went along one Saturday afternoon. I remember coming into the field where they had the fete, and just a bit over there was a wagon, and on the back of this, or a little stage or something, up on this stage, there was a few lads around, and there was one particular guy I noticed at the front, had a sort of checked shirt, sort of blondish kind of hair, a little bit curly, sideboards, looking pretty cool, and he was playing sort of one of these guitars guaranteed not to crack, not a very good one, but he was making a very good job of it, and I remember being quite impressed. And he was doing a song by the Del Vikings called Come Go With Me. And the thing about it was, he obviously didn't know the words, but he was pulling in lyrics from blues songs. So instead of going, come little darling, come and go with me, which is right, he'd then go, down, down, down to the penitentiary. And he'd be doing sort of stuff he'd heard on Big Bill Brunsey records and stuff. So I thought, that's clever. He's pretty good. That was John.
And we met and we talked after the show, and I saw he had talent, and he was playing guitar backstage and doing 20 Flight Rock by Eddie Cochran.
But the thing I think impressed him most was I knew all the words. Fly more. On 12th, I'm starting to drag. 15 before I'm ready to sag. Get to the top, I'm too tired to rock.
I was the singer and the leader. Well, I made the decision whether to have him in the group or not. Was it better to have a guy who was better than the people I had in, obviously, or not? And that decision was to let Paul in to make the group stronger. And I turned around to him right then on first meeting and said, "Do you want to join the group?" And I think he said yes the next day.
Okay, I'm in the cemetery next to the church and I'm looking for Eleanor Rigby's grave and I can't find it anywhere. So I found a picture on Google just to see how it looks like, and I found that it's not one of these ones with the cross, you know, so that makes the job a lot easier because I would say half of the graves here have a little cross. So yeah, that makes it a lot easier. And I also found that the gravestone doesn't say Eleanor Rigby at the top, but instead it says John Rigby, and Eleanor Rigby comes after. So yeah, it's good that I found it. Otherwise, maybe if I read John Rigby, I'd be like, nah, it's not that one. What am I doing with my life? I'm in a graveyard in Liverpool, England, looking for a grave of a woman who died so many years ago and may or may not have inspired a song by the Beatles. Crazy. Okay, I found it. So if you're ever in Liverpool and you're looking for Eleanor Rigby's grave, I'll show you what it is. It's right there. So we are here in the graveyard of the church, and here we can see the grave of Eleanor Rigby, a woman who died on the 10th of October 1939 at age 44, and it may have inspired Paul McCartney to write the song Eleanor Rigby. However, none of the Beatles have confirmed that this is the case, and to be honest, it may just be a coincidence. In the cemetery at St. Peter's, a gravestone bears the name of Eleanor Rigby, which would eventually become the title of a 1966 hit song written by Paul McCartney and included in the Beatles album Revolver. The grave is located in the section of the cemetery to the left of the church, in the second row facing the street, just to the right of the cemetery's center walkway. The gravestone also features inscriptions for several other members of the Rigby family. McCartney attributed the name to a combination of the actress Eleanor Bron and the name of a store in Bristol, Rigby and Evans Ltd. Wine and Spirit Shippers. He also later admitted he might have unconsciously borrowed her name from the gravestone. In any event, the details about Eleanor Rigby in the song are purely fictional. The real Eleanor was born in 1895 to parents Mary Rigby and Arthur Whitfield. She worked in a hospital in Liverpool and in 1930 married a man named Thomas Woods. Eleanor Rigby lived in Walton her whole life and died at age 44 in 1939. In 2017, deeds for the Rigby family grave space went up for auction, alongside an 1899 miniature Bible inscribed with Eleanor's name, and in a separate lot, the original handwritten score for the song. Paul McCartney again emphasized at the time that his use of the name was entirely out of his imagination and not based on the actual person. In the city centre of Liverpool, there is a statue of Eleanor Rigby, dedicated to all the lonely people. The statue was made by Tommy Steele and unveiled by himself on the 3rd of December 1982. Okay, this is pretty much it for now. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. You can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook. There is a PayPal link as well for donations. Every donation will be absolutely appreciated. And the most important thing is, if you like this video, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel, because I have many videos about the Beatles. I have videos visiting very famous Beatles locations, like for example Paul McCartney's house or Abbey Road Studios. And now in Liverpool I'm making so many videos about the Beatles. So if you love the Beatles as much as I do, I'm pretty sure you're gonna like the rest of my videos. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.
Well, I'm afraid that's us run out of time.
Oh,
I'm really sorry.
Oh,
Sorry.
Bye everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
If I give my heart to you, I must be sure from the very